In this lecture, we are going to learn about keywords and identifiers in C. Now, what is an identifier? Identifier is a name that we give to a variable or to a function or to any other programming element. Let's say I declare a variable amount. Here, this amount is an identifier. It identifies this variable amount. Okay, so now there are different rules that we have to follow for writing an identifier. Okay, so what are these rules? The first one is it can consist of alphabets, both caps A to Z and from small a to Z. Okay, so it can consist of all the alphabets from A to Z and small a to Z. Number two, it can consist of all the digits from 0 to 9, all the digits it can consist of. Okay, third, it can consist of one special character. Okay, only one special character called as underscore. So this underscore is allowed. Okay, underscore is a special character that is only allowed. You can't use any other characters like exclamation mark, @ these characters are not allowed, but this character underscore is allowed while naming a identifier. So combination of all these alphabets, characters and digits is allowed while actually naming a variable. So let's try to name few variables here. Let's try to give the variable name as, let's say, one more variable, float amount. Now this is allowed, capital A is allowed. Okay, now remember this identifier is a case sensitive thing. Okay, so this amount and this amount, they are different amounts. Okay, this is starting with capital A and this is all in small letters, so they are different. It is case sensitive in nature. I can write a variable with the name, let's say I have char my name 123. This is allowed because it consists of all small letters and digits 1 2 3. Okay, now let me have one more variable, let's say char my name @123. Is this allowed? Okay, let's try to see. Let's try to compile this first. GCC identifiers.c. Now it is saying that there is an error. See, there is an error in line number 13. Line number 13, there is an error that @ is not allowed. Okay, so there is an error. You can't use @. Instead, you can just use one special character, that is underscore. So if I use underscore, let's see what happens. Okay, now there is no error. Okay, so this is allowed. Now let me declare one more variable, let's say double. Let me now start with the digit, let's say 123 underscore or 123 ABC. Okay, now this is not allowed because you can't start an identifier with a number. So this is not allowed. I'll just comment this. Okay, identifier should not start with a number. It should either start with any of the alphabet or underscore. It cannot start with a number or a digit. Okay, so these are some of the rules that we follow for actually writing an identifier. There's one more thing. Let's say I have to let me create one more variable called as double and let me name it as while. Okay, as soon as I write while, you see the color of while is being changed by VS Code editor. Now let me try to compile this. GCC identifier.c. It is saying that some expected identifier before opening parenthesis while. Something is wrong here, right? Now while, because we have not violated any rule, right? This is allowed because I'm just using alphabets A to Z, right? This must be allowed. But while is one of the keywords that is being reserved by C. You can't use this. Okay, so there are certain different kind of keywords that's being reserved by C. So these are the list of 32 keywords. There are actually 32 keywords that is reserved by C, and this is alphabetically displayed here, right? Auto, break, case, char, const, continue, right? If you just look at it, while is here. This is while, so I can't use this while as a name for any variable. Okay, similarly all these other keywords cannot be used as a name of a variable or as a name of an identifier. Okay, so these are the keywords. All of these keywords are in small letters, right? All is small caps, and they have some specific meaning and specific use in programming. In our later lectures, as and when required, we'll be learning about these keywords, their uses and how they work. Okay, so do not worry about these keywords. There's no need to memorize or remember these keywords for now. As and when time comes, we will introduce these keywords one by one. We have already seen these keywords like int, we have already seen float. These are reserved keywords. A double is there. Similarly, char is there. Okay. So these are some of the keywords we have already used, but as and when required, we will be introducing these keywords to you all. Okay. So that's all in this particular lecture. We have learned about how to give a name to any variable. That's how to name an identifier and what is a keyword in C. So that's all for this lecture. Stay tuned.